Welcome. My name is Chelsea Sphere, the Jester. Thank you so much for joining me for part 2. If you're watching this, hopefully you've already watched class 1, where we learned some of the basics of hoop dance. Now we're going to build on those skills, and we're going to learn a few more tricks today. All right, guys, let's get started. Time to warm up our bodies so we can get ready to be loosey-goosey and hoop dance. Okay, are you ready? All right, we're gonna take our hoops. I know you're excited to use them, but let's put them to the side. Okay, let's just use our bodies to get warmed up. Let's start with 10 jumping jacks. Are you ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to 15, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, now take your feet a little wider than your hips, and we're gonna do some side leans. You should feel a nice stretch here in your side. One side. Keep your tummy tightened. We're gonna do little bounces. And other side. Bounce with it. All right. Okay. Now let's speed it up a little. Keep your tummy tightened. All right, nice job. Okay, let's do some arm circles. We're gonna have to warm up our arms. So let's start with really tiny circles. Keep your shoulder blades down and away from your ears. Start with tiny, tight circles. We're gonna get a little bigger. Little bigger. Biggest circles, and let's go in the other direction. Ready? Keep your shoulder blades down and engaged. Big circles. We're gonna slowly get smaller and smaller and smaller. Now pulse. Nice job. Okay, now let's do it over our heads. Same thing. Start with big circles. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Big circles. Getting smaller. Getting smaller. Tiny circles. Woo! All right. Now let's do the same thing with our knees. Some knee circles. Put your hands on your hips, big old circles with your knees. Maybe try to change the direction of the circle. What happens if we go the other way? This is good practice for your balance too. All right. Now outward circles again. Okay, now we're gonna do something with our arms to get us ready for a hoop trick we're gonna learn today. We call this one chopping wood. Now bring your hands together for me. What we're gonna do is we're gonna act like we're chopping wood, like this. But we're gonna bring it up on each side. So on this side, I'm gonna come down, around, then up and around on this side. Up and around on this side. So we're drawing a number 8 on its side in the air. Got it? Okay, we're gonna count through 10 of these. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, make a circle on both sides, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Want to do that on the other side? Let's try it again. Other foot facing forward this time. Same thing, we're drawing a number 8 on its side in the air. Okay, ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, chopping wood, 3, almost done. You guys are doing great. 2, and 1. All right, don't forget that. It's gonna come in handy later with the trick we learn, okay? Okay, now we're gonna do another very important exercise that is helpful for hoop dance, and that's gonna be some circles with our hips, right? Any good hooper knows how to circle their hips. Okay, so we're gonna work on the 4 points. Forward, sideways, backwards, and then to the other side, right? So if we break it down, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're gonna do a set of 10 of those so we can practice finding those 4 points. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4. 10, 2, 3, 4. All right, now let's go the other direction. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4. And 10, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now what happens if we take those 4 points and we put them all together? We get a nice smooth circle, right? Does this look familiar? Okay, let's try that next. Okay. Now we're gonna take those 4 points and we're gonna put them all together. So instead of 4 individual points, it's gonna be a nice smooth circle, okay? All right, let's do 10 of those in each direction. Are you ready? Okay, and 1, 2, 3, helps if your hands are on your hips, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now don't worry if those don't feel smooth yet. It all comes with practice. All right, it's getting a little breezy out here, so let's do some trees in the wind. Do you remember those from class 1? Put your arms in the air like they're your branches. And I want you to sway in the wind. Moving our hips in the way that we just learned, right? Be silly. Wiggle your arms. There's a wave of motion passing through my whole body. You see that? Try it. Trees in the wind. Woo! All right. Now, let's try some turns, because we do a lot of spinning and hoop, right? And one thing that helps us from getting too dizzy is spotting. So find a point on the wall or something not moving to look at if you start to get dizzy. Okay, so let's do some spins and we're gonna put our arms in there. And 10 of these, ready? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we changed directions halfway through. Let's do that again. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You guys are doing an awesome job. Okay, so now that we've got our bodies a little bit warmed up, we're gonna move on to the part you've all been waiting for, playing with our hoops. let's get ready. Now that we have our hoops, we're ready to learn. Okay, just a quick review of last week. The trick we're gonna learn now is called a figure 8, and it looks like this. So in order to learn this trick, we need a review of what we learned in class number 1. So, an important part of what we learned last time is about our thumb fence and how to control the hoop when it's moving vertically on our hands. So we're going to do that on the side like a hallway. Remember, we learned forward, stopping the hoop and sending it backwards. Our thumb fence prevents the hoop from coming up our arm and hitting us in the face, right? Okay, so just refamiliarize yourself with these. Maybe on both sides. Okay. Okay, so if you've got these, then you're ready to learn a figure 8. Okay, do you remember in our warm-up, we learned chopping wood, right? Same motion as a figure 8. Remember how we talked about it's an 8 on its side? This is exactly what we're doing here while our hoop is in vertical plane, right? Okay, so you're going to grab the hoop with your thumb facing up, and it's going to go to the other side of my body, in this case to my left side. Now it's going to stay vertical like you're standing in a hallway and it's a wall, right? And we're going to swoop back around to this wall plane. Thumb facing up, and as I swoop down, my thumb is facing back. Back, up, and around. Got it? Let's try it a little bit faster. I'm crossing it from one side of my body over to the other, and I'm keeping this same grip on the hoop. This side and to the left. Now, if you look ahead, you'll see that you're drawing the number 8 on its side, right? Circle here, circle this side. Circle over here, circle on this side. Make sense? Just so you can see what it looks like from another angle, this is what it looks like from the front. Now, one thing that's going to help you here, keep your grip on the hoop kind of loose. If I death grip my hoop, it doesn't flow very well, right? So keep your arm nice and relaxed, but keep the hoop in your hand. We don't want it flying off, so not too loose. Okay, thumb facing up, swoop to the left side, swoop to the right side. My wrist stays nice and loose and allows my hoop to stay vertical on each side. Because the tighter I grip it, the more I have to move to get that shape. If my wrist is nice and loose and my grip around the hoop stays loose, I kind of just hook it with my fingers at the end like this. Because if I keep a tight grip, it doesn't look as nice, right? So nice little hook with your fingers. You can even practice a very gentle grip on my hoop, right? It's not going to go flying, but I'm not death gripping it. Okay. So try your figure 8 from a couple different angles. This is what it looks like from here. This is going to really help get you familiar with where the hoop is in space in relation to your body. Guess what? You might hit yourself in the face. I've hit myself in the face hundreds of times over the years. That's how we learn, right? We make mistakes. So don't be too hard on yourself if this doesn't come right away. Swoop to one side, swoop to the other side. If it helps, and this isn't clicking yet, remember our warm-up, chopping wood. Try both hands. Chop my wood, chop my wood. Chop my wood, chop my wood. Right? Left side of my body, right side of my body. Left side, right side. Now, for those of you who have already gotten this, great. Awesome job. Just play with it a little. Try it in front. Try it on the side. Try it with your right hand, and also very important, make sure you try it with your left hand. In fact, everyone, let's switch hands now. So you've probably been using your right hand because most people are right-handed. So go ahead and switch to your left hand or whatever your non-dominant hand is. And same thing. Keep a nice loose grip on the hoop and swoop from side to side. You could try switching hands if this is feeling easy. All right, how are we feeling? That making sense? Now, we're gonna do 10 together. Okay, so let's start with our right hands. Everyone ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, switch to your non-dominant hand, your left hand, whichever it is. We're going to try it on the other side 10 times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Now we're going to learn something you might have already done with your hoop, which is using our hoop as a jump rope, which looks something like this, right? Now, normally when you're using an actual jump rope, it's more like this with 2 feet, right? But just for the sake of aesthetics, because this is hoop dance, we're going to do it 1 foot at a time because it looks a little better and we don't land as hard, right? So hold your hoop in front of you, thumbs down. Just for this, we're going to practice jumping through. Now, you might trip on your hoop a couple times at first. That's okay. Depending on the size of your hoop, this may be a little more difficult. But just get a feel for jumping through with 1 foot at a time. Okay? All right. Nice job. Try leading with 1 foot and then leading with the other and get a feel for that, okay? Nice job. So what we're going to do is we are going to connect that with our figure 8. But first, let's do 10 of those that we just learned so we get super comfortable, okay? Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's lead with the other foot this time and do 10 more. Are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. So, like we talked about, we're going to connect our figure 8 with our jump rope. And this is one of the first trick combos that we're learning today, okay? So remember the figure 8. Nice loose grip on my hoop. Pretending you're in a hallway and you're making 2 straight walls on either side of you. Right side, left side. Right side, left side. Figure 8, right? Okay, so if you can do that and you can do this, we can connect them. Remember, this is hoop dance. A dance isn't just one dance move, it's a bunch of dance moves together, right? Okay, so let's try starting this on our right hand, or if you're left-handed, start with your left hand. Whatever one you're more comfortable with to start, okay? So get your figure 8s And before we go to swoop to the left side, we are going to jump through. Now let's see that again. How about from the front? Figure eight, figure eight, figure eight. And as I'm coming up and around, I'm no longer on a vertical plane, right? Now we're in a horizontal plane. And we're jumping through 1 foot at a time, just like we learned. So that looks something like this. Right? We have a little combo. I'll show you from this side. You could keep going if you want. So now we are going to do a figure eight and a jump rope together. And that looks something like this. Figure eights. And right as my hoop is coming down, it moves to the horizontal plane and I jump through. So we're going to try a few of those. We're going to jump rope through it 3 times. And we'll do that 3 times. Are you ready? So start with your figure eights. 1, 2, 3. Now see if you can't go back to your figure eight. Let's do that 2 more times. 1, 2, and 3. Back to your figure eight. You got it? You getting the combo? Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Back to our figure eights. You got it? Looking good. Now we're going to shorten that. We're going to do our figure eight and we're going to jump through and go straight back to our figure eights, okay? So we're switching back and forth between tricks. You guys are going to be really great hoopers before you know it. Okay, so figure eight and jump rope. Back to your figure eights. Jump rope, figure eight. Jump rope. Jump rope. May take a few tries. Jump rope. Back to your figure eight. Jump through, figure eight. Okay. Now this might be hard, but I think you guys are up for the challenge. Let's do 10 of those. Are you ready? Jump, figure eight. Jump. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, looking good. Now we're gonna put those moves together and turn it into a dance because this is hoop dance and we wanna dance. So let's take the combo of moves that we've learned and we're gonna put some music on and we're just gonna jam, all right? You guys ready? Let's go. You guys are doing an awesome job so far. We're gonna learn another trick. This time we're gonna be working in what we call the horizontal plane, right? Like the horizon. Waist hooping, this is horizontal, right? Remember this one that we learned? That's also horizontal, okay? So we're gonna add another trick to our horizontal trick arsenal that we can eventually connect to all these other moves that we've been learning. Okay, it's gonna look like this. So I'm moving the hoop around my body on a horizontal plane and I'm passing it off to the other hand behind my back. Now, much like waist hooping, it's a little easier if I spin in the same direction that my hoop is going. So in this case, my hoop is going counterclockwise to the left, and so am I. Small little circles with my feet. If you start to get dizzy, don't forget about your spotting, okay? You can do it standing in place. I just have to move my hands a little faster to keep up, right? Or else the hoop starts to sag and we're not on a horizontal plane anymore, right? Okay, so let's do 10 of those while spinning in small circles or standing still, whatever feels easier for you. Okay, ready? 10, 9, 8. My thumbs are facing in towards each other in the front and away from each other in the back, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So remember when we were learning figure eights and we talked about a death grip? Not gonna help you? Same thing here. If I'm gripping the heck out of my hoops, it's awkward. So keep a nice loose grip. I kind of just create this finger hook at the end of my fingers. And the hoop stays there really nicely, and I don't have to grip it with my whole hand, right? Okay, so we're gonna add another trick onto this. Hopefully you've already gotten this. This is pretty easy. We're gonna call it stirring the pot. Okay, I just did a couple stirs. Let's try one stir. Around and then pass. Around, then pass. We're just giving that a hoop an extra rotation. You can stand there and keep stirring if you want to get a feel for stirring the pot. I'm kind of just doing it on one finger. You could do it on your whole hand. Okay, so let's try 10 of those. Pass around the back and stir the pot. Okay, are you ready? 1, pass. 2, pass. 3, pass. 4, pass. 5, pass. 6, pass. 7, pass. 8, pass. 9, pass it, and 10. Okay, so now that we're comfortable stirring the pot on our right side, we're gonna do it to the left. So let's get a feel for passing it around on our left side. For most of us, our left side is not our dominant hand. So let's just try some of these without the stir. Just pass it to your left hand and around. My left hand is what's passing it behind my back to the other hand. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's add our stirring the stew, going to the left. Are you ready? 1, pass. 2, and pass. 3, and pass. 4, and pass. 5, pass. 6, pass. 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Great job. Okay, so it's really good for our bodies and for our brains to do everything on our left side and our right side. So let's practice doing our stir the pot and pass it from one hand to the other. We're not even gonna bother doing behind the back right now. We're just gonna practice how it feels to stir with our left, pass, stir with our right. So we're just changing directions, right? Let's try a few of these together. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 with my right, 4 with my left, 5 with my right, 5 with my left, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Is that making sense? Starting to click? Perfect. Are you guys ready to dance with it? We're gonna take what we've learned and we're gonna put a song on and we're gonna dance. We're gonna be doing stir the pots, spinning, passing, stirring the pot. Now if you want, and this is feeling really easy, you can throw in some of your other horizontal moves, but we're just gonna work in the horizontal plane for this song. All right, are you ready? Let's put some music on and dance. Now we're gonna learn a couple new tricks that we can connect with more tricks that we learned in class 1. Okay, so if you remember, we learned waist hooping. It's a main thing that everyone knows about hooping, but it's not that easy to do, right? I showed you a few methods in class 1 for helping learn this, which is 1 foot forward rock. If that helps you, great. We also learned spinning in the same direction as our hoop, and that slows everything down and makes it so we don't have to work quite as hard to keep the hoop up over our hips, right? So right now, we are gonna learn some hooping up here. So some of you may have done or tried this before. So we're gonna hoop around our neck. So to get it started, just be careful you don't smack yourself in the face, and even if you do, oh well, right? Okay, so it looks a little something like this. Very similar motion that you make with your waist, kind of a little circular motion that pushes the hoop, right? So my neck is kind of moving gently side to side. Don't strain too hard because it doesn't look too pretty. And we're dancers, we like things to look pretty, right? We also learned something called a stall. If you remember this from waist hooping, you can do the same thing around your neck. That's a little bit harder, but we'll move on to that later. So if you guys are new to hooping around your neck, it might make your neck feel a little sore, might hurt a little, okay? So don't go too long with that, just get a feel for it and then we're gonna move on, okay? So if you got a few of these in, depending on how heavy your hoop is, this might be kind of difficult and painful, and that's okay. So, one great thing about being able to hoop around your neck is it can fall down to our waist. We can let gravity carry it down. Getting your arms through is a little tricky, and we'll work on that later. Okay, so if we're letting gravity help us, and we're letting it take the hoop down, you might find it falls below your waist, right? Now, it is possible to hoop around your knees. This is also pretty difficult and took me a while to learn, and can also cause some soreness and bruising around the knees while you're first getting used to it, okay? Now, as you can see, it's a little bit difficult to keep up. You may have already dropped your hoop. That's okay. All right, so one tip for keeping it up around your knee is I'm really rocking with one knee. So one of my knees is knocking. See if you can make this motion. Hold one knee pretty still, knock the other, okay? Now practice doing that while spinning. Don't add your hoop just yet. We're just gonna practice this motion. This knee is what's keeping my hoop up, right? And as with waist hooping, everything's a little bit easier when we spin the same direction as our hoop and it slows down. So let's give it a try. It might be a little bit difficult to start at first. You can either start around your waist and let it fall if that's easier, or you can go ahead and just start it right around your knees. So for knee hooping, it's gonna need to go pretty fast. So don't be afraid to really knock that knee. So I'm up on the toe on the foot that's knocking the knee, right? And if I spin in the same direction as the hoop, really slows it down and makes it so I don't have to work as hard. Same thing in waist hooping. If you spin with your hoop in the same direction, everything's a little slower and a little easier, right? Okay, nice job. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys another little trick to help with knee hooping, because this is pretty difficult. And don't be discouraged if you don't get this right away. Like I said, it took me a lot of practice. So another way to keep it going around your knees is what we call the Tootsie Roll. So instead of pushing the hoop across with this knee, I'm gonna use this knee to push it across in a circular motion. I'll show you from another angle, right? I'm pushing my hoop around and helping keep the momentum by using a circular motion. My toe is staying in the same place, but I'm coming up on my toe and making a circle with my knee. And that's gonna look something like this. That's not the method I necessarily use, but for some people it's easier that way. Everybody is different, and that's okay. So give that another try. If you have to start from your waist, start from your waist, find your groove. Once your hoop falls down, try your Tootsie Roll. Circles. You're gonna have to keep it going pretty fast to keep it from falling below your knees. Okay. Circular motion with that knee to push your hoop around. Okay, so whatever works better for you, try that. Okay, now we're gonna take a lot of the moves that we've learned here on this horizontal plane, and we're gonna put everything we can remember here on this plane all into one song, okay? So remember, your stir the pot, your pass behind the back, these, and we're gonna put it all together. From our neck, down to our waist, down to our knees. Okay, and it is possible to get it back up, but that takes a lot of practice and you'll have to learn that in later classes, okay? For now, we're just gonna let gravity help us and we're gonna go down, okay? Now let's put on some music and jam. Don't worry if you don't have all these moves yet, just do what you can and dance and groove and have fun, okay? All right, let's put on a song and get started. now let's take everything we've learned from class 1 and class 2. We've learned a lot of tricks, you guys, and now we're about to put them all together. Okay, just a very quick review. We learned hands, right? Both hands, both directions. Then we learned our figure eights, right? And you can do that on either side, in front, or you can do it on the side. We learned steering wheels. Remember these from class 1? And you can do rolls with these. We also learned to hoop around our neck. We learned to hoop around our waist. And we learned to hoop around our knees. Okay? And don't forget about these. These are always nice too if you ever drop your hoop, which you're gonna drop your hoop a lot. This is a nice, fun way to pick it up, like this. We also learned stir the stew. Right? This is another horizontal trick we got in our arsenal. Around the back, stir the stew. Okay? So that gives us lots of vertical tricks and horizontal tricks, right? Okay, so we're gonna put on a song, and for a couple minutes I want you to just dance and try to do every single one of those. Okay? Even our jump throughs. All right, are you guys ready? Let's put on some music and groove. So I suppose by now you guys are all feeling like real hoop dancers. We've learned a lot of skills so far on our vertical plane and on our horizontal plane, and starting to connect them, right? There's so much more to learn, you guys. I have been on my hoop dance journey for 10 years now, and I'm still learning new stuff. So join us for class 3, and we're gonna keep building on these amazing skills that we have. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Chelsea the Jester. Farewell.